progress.
Good morning. Where were we? Registration. We have covered 25, na? Tell me. Section for registration we have covered, okay? Then we have also seen, very importantly, effective date of registration. That also we had covered last time. Remember? Yes, na? The effective date of registration depends on what thing? Whether the applicant, the assessee, taxpayer has applied or not applied within 30 days. Agree till here? If applied within 30 days, then registration is effective from date on which the taxpayer become liable to register. Agree till here? If applied after 30 days, then the registration is effective from the date of grant of registration. Yes, till here? That also we had covered. Okay? Alright. CTP NRTP also covered. है ना? CTP NRTP also बच्चों cases covered. Yes, till here? Fine. We have also covered about that 90 days, है ना? And you have to pay tax in advance for CTP and NRTP. Okay? Sure. Let's go ahead. 28. Again, these two sections are remaining. 28, 29. Not very great or important, but quickly we can just finish up the theory part of it. Okay? The process. Amendment of registration. Basically means change. Amendments, obviously you understand, means
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
There is today lots of issue of internet, I think, today, है ना? Lots of lag happening. Okay. Again, I have to bring back the screen. Hold on, okay? Is the screen visible now? I have to open YouTube only. हाँ ठीक है. बट ऐसा होता तो नहीं कभी यहाँ पे. ठीक है, क्या करें? हुआ तो have to directly connect with the. Can we go ahead, everybody, now? I have to open YouTube only. हाँ ठीक है. चलो. Let's start. Who all are there on YouTube? ये यूट्यूब वालों को तो बोलना है. यूट्यूब वालों कभी तो लाइक कर दिया करो. लाइक द वीडियो, शेयर द वीडियो, कमेंट इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग द वीडियो, है ना? बोलना पड़ता है इनको. लेट्स स्टार्ट. चलो.
Recording in progress.
ओके. व्हाट वाज आई डिस्कसिंग? हाँ, इफ एट ऑल, हाँ, सब्सक्राइब टू द वीडियो ऑल्सो. करेक्ट. चैनल, सॉरी. इफ एट ऑल यू आर अ कंपनी, यू कैन चेंज योर नेम, यू कैन चेंज द ऑब्जेक्ट, you can change the location, isn't it, everybody? So these are very, very basic things which you can change. So because of that change, you need to update the details. Now again, common sense, bachcho. The GST IN is PAN based, and PAN is always permanent. So GST IN will not change. The number is not changing. Okay, the details inside that may change. Okay, like I said, the manager, KMP, signatory details, the address, the object, that may bachcho, the principal place of business, that can change. Clear till here? If you are changing the state itself, then you have to wind up, or you can say surrender GST IN of a particular state. Are you getting my point or no? You cannot transfer GST IN from one state to another. You have to wind up, or you can say give up, surrender in one state, and then maybe again apply for in another state. Is that okay, everybody till here? Fine. Can I go ahead? Bolo. Okay. So here we are talking about what? Change in the details of the of your registration. Chalo. A registered person may need to make some changes or amendments in the registration application. Now these are now two categories: core fields and non-core fields. Core means obviously understand most important basic ones, and non-core are others. Okay, so what are the core fields? This you may have to know, or you should know. Okay, name of the business, that is legal name. If there is no change in PAN, PAN is not going to change as it is. Okay. Addition or deletion of stakeholders, principal place of business, other than change in state. Change in state, but you just now told you, it is not possible. Right? Then, or additional place of business, there is a change, or you can say, there is one more additional place of business which you have added. All other fields are bachcho non-core fields, like day-to-day, which are to be used for day-to-day functions, है ना? Like email, IDs, mobile numbers, etc. Okay? So if you're changing name, that is legal name, and there is no change in PAN, then addition, deletion of stakeholders, your owners. Then principal place of business and additional place of business. If there is change, these are core fields. Keep that in mind. Important. Okay. Can I go ahead? And there's a change बच्चों in core information in the registration application. That means what? Whatever you had submitted at the time of registration, है ना? That acceptable person will apply for amendment within 15 days of the event necessitating the change. Event necessitating the change means the cause, the reason because of which you are doing the change. Now, whatever happened after that, within 15 days, you should update to the GST common portal. Now, whatever happened means what? You change the name. Let us say you are a company. Let us say, but what, you are a company. You are not first going to change GST IN. If you're a company, you're changing name, you will first go to ROC, book a new name, apply for new name. ROC will approve the new name. Now, once ROC has approved the new name, now within 15 days of that, you will apply to GST, GST common portal for change of core field. Clear till all of you? Did you understand? Tell me, okay, fine. The proper officer, GST officer, then will approve a amendment within next 15 days. Okay, so apply 15 days, officer approve 15 days. चलेगा? Fine. Non-core information you don't require बच्चों check approval. For mobile ID, email ID and all of that not required. ठीक है? So non-core information no approval of officer. That you can do it on GST common portal. Can I go ahead everybody? चलो. Where there is any change in the particulars filed in the registration application, you shall bachcho submit an application within 15 days of such change along with documents relating to such change. Now you are changing the name, so you will obviously bachcho attach with it what new certificate of incorporation, है ना, or any kind of ROC approval. Clear? Whenever you are doing bachcho change in core information, core details, so such amendment shall take effect from the date of occurrence of event warranting such amendment. Warranting means because of, है ना? Basically some change happened, you applied within 15 days, the officer bachcho also approved within 15 days. So in this there is a lots of gap between actual change and the approval from officer. Is it okay? It will be effective from the date of change, the date of actual change. Are you understanding or no, everybody? Clear? However, the change relates to all of you, okay? There was a lag, I think. Yeah. Next one, important. I said non-core. See, change in core field and change in non-core field. Change in core field, once approved by officer, will be effective from the date of actual change. Okay? Because you are applying within 15 days and then officer is again taking 15 days. है ना? Currently here. But change in non-core fields, the taxpayer is doing the change. So change in non-core fields will be effective from the date of change on the GST common portal. Whenever you submit it on the GST common portal, from that date it will be effective. Which one? Non-core. Non-core. Okay? Then application for amendment impossible, cannot be filed for change in PAN. Okay, tell you all of you? Because GST registration itself is PAN based. One is to make a fresh application for registration in case there is a change in PAN. Now you may say, why change in PAN? Because of mergers and acquisition, amalgamation maybe. That is possible. Thus, where a change in the constitution of any business results in change of PAN, है ना, of a registered person, the said person shall apply for fresh registration. Okay? Which case, bachcho, I'm talking about amalgamation. Okay? Again, from one state to another state, you can't file for change in the state details. You'll have to bachcho apply in the new state. Okay? If one wishes to relocate his business to another state, he must bachcho cancel his current registration in that state and apply for the fresh registration in the new state. Simple till here? Hi, Anna. Chalo, core fields. What are the core fields? Permission of officer required if the change relates to change of core fields. PAN is of individual na. Then how come individual will amalgamate? Nahi re baba. PAN is not always of individual na. Business taxpayer can be company also na. Individuals are hardly any. There are lots of firms, LLP, and remaining all are what? Company only. Obviously, company has PAN. Obviously, PAN is for everybody. PAN is for every taxpayer. Even a registered charitable trust has a PAN. Every taxpayer, every assessee has a PAN. Okay? PAN is for everybody. We have done that in basics, income tax. They have in their name C. You know? Just like for individual, we have P. P in the letters of the PAN. For company, we have C. Okay? Core fields of information. What are the core fields? And such change does not warrant cancellation of registration under section 29. So you are changing the name of the business or address of principal place or additional place, either change or addition or deletion of stakeholders. Check here. Partners, directors, Karta, MD, or managing committee, board of trustees, CEO or equivalent responsible for day-to-day business. If the directors are retiring or you're changing the director or you're changing the signatories. Signatory means the one who are going to sign your reports and all the details, returns, etc. Okay? If there is change in the stakeholder, these are all your core fields. Change of these two particulars. Now look at the logic. Shall be applicable for all registrations of a registered person obtained under the provision of this chapter on the same PAN. Means what? On the same PAN. Means let us say bachcho, dealer has a branch in Maharashtra and a branch in Karnataka. Both are registered. Hi Anna. So if you are changing name of the business, it will be automatically reflected or done or assumed or deemed it is done for both the branches. Because you are changing the name of the business, so it is obviously applicable on all the branches, isn't it? And if you are changing the stakeholders, the signatories, the management, again it is automatically applicable on all the branches. Clear till here? But yes, basis of businesses, your principal or additional, है ना? That can be all again state specific. Understood or no? Are hi है ना? Understood? Mobile number, email ID change is nothing great. Wow, look at the story. We are talking about what? Change in core areas and change in non-core. Let us do the first time pass non-core areas, your email ID, mobile number, etc. Amendment is carried on GST common portal. Okay? Then the registration certificate is amended, your whatever details you have. Okay, till here? That's it. Okay? Registration certificate is amended. That is the main answer. Registration certificate is what, bachcho? Amended. Clear till here? Huh. That is the final step. If it is non-core, okay, it's not, if it is a core area change, then you have to apply within 15 days of the actual change on GST common portal. The file will go to the request will go to the proper officer. The proper officer of the opinion that amendment is unwarranted or unreasonable, or documents furnished or details are incorrect, is of the opinion. Understand? Okay. Fine. That something is wrong. If no, that means what? He thinks the change is genuine, reasonable, required, all the documents are correct. Officer is satisfied. Are you still here? Are you getting my point? If officer is satisfied, then I'll give permission within next 15 days. Is it okay till here? And accordingly your certificate is amended. Simple. Secondly, you applied for change. The file went to the officer. Officer is bachcho not happy. Officer is bachcho not happy about the change, or he says the documents are incomplete. So again, within next 15 days, okay, he will serve a show cause notice, SCN. The proper officer bachcho will serve a show cause notice. Why? Application for amendment should not be rejected. Show us cause. Show cause why we should not reject your application for amendment. Means he is not satisfied with the documents or reason for change. Okay till here? I mean, again, it has to be a genuine case. Then basically officer replied, है ना? Then the taxpayer needs to reply within next 7 days. Yes or no? reply बच्चों within next 7 days, 7 working days. Now check. If the reply is satisfactory, then he will approve the amendment. If the reply is not satisfactory, बच्चों, okay, then within the next 7 days of receipt or reply, okay, everybody, he will reject the application for amendment. Fine till here, all of you? I think I had already discussed also once with you that whenever the duty is there on the officer and the officer does not do it in the particular time, then it is deemed that it is approved. Yes, till here, all of you? It is deemed that it is approved. Fine till here, all of you? Can I go ahead, everybody? Next one. A proper officer, pay attention now, fails to take any action within 15 days. Check here. Look at that is what the reason you have to look over here, this section here. The next step, the next action which the officer needs to take is within 15 days. Either approve or send a notice, show cause notice. Are you getting my point or no? There has to be some communication, bachcho, from the officer within the next 15 days. Yes, tell you all of you. Already clear, everybody? If he does not send a show cause notice and he does not also voluntarily approve the registration, then deemed approved. Yes or no? Similarly, when the assessee replied to the show cause notice and he does not reply within the next 7 days, hi Anna, he does not cancel within the next 7 days, but then it is again deemed that he has approved the registration. Are you getting my point? So again, an important, you can say, duty responsibility put on the officer, that the officer does not follow, that will be deemed approval. Yes or no? Within 15 days, correct after submission, and within 7 days of receipt of reply to the show cause notice. Okay, if fails, the certificate of registration will stand amended to the extent applied for, and the amended certificate shall be made available to the registered person on the portal, common portal. Is it okay, everybody? Fine. Varun Enterprises, a sole proprietorship firm, is engaged in supply of electrical goods in Delhi. The firm is registered under GST. Varun is proprietor. He wishes to expand his business, and his friend Arun approaches him to provide additional capital for his business if he is made a partner. Varun agrees and changes the constitution. Now, change of constitution will relate to what? Change in PAN or no? Yes. Because now from individual to firm. Can you convert? Have you done in accounts, bacho? Proprietorship to company or firm to company or something like that. Hai na? So now he is changing bacho from proprietorship to firm. Okay, everybody? So definitely the PAN will change. Permanent account number will change. So Varun agrees to change in constitution. And since there is a change in constitution from sole proprietorship to the firm, it will result in change of PAN. He will have to apply for fresh registration. Important. Okay, he'll have to apply. The reason bacho, because GST is PAN based, and any change in PAN bacho results in change in application of new registration. Okay, not change of GSTIN, application of new registration. Clear? Done till here, everybody? That was what bacho? 28. Amendment of registration. 29. Cancellation or suspension of registration. Cancellation or suspension. What is the difference? Cancellation or suspension, but what is the difference? Which is temporary? Cancellation or suspension? Suspension is temporary, for some period. And now just try to understand. That is section 29, we will do that. Cancellation or suspension. Understand now. And revocation of cancellation. So basically here what is happening? Cancellation or suspension will happen from the department side because of some fraud issue from the taxpayer. Okay. So again there is some action taken by the department. Is it okay till here? Either cancel or suspend. Okay. So the department or officer has to cancel the registration or suspended the registration. So look at the wordings of next part. Revocation of cancellation. Revocation of cancellation. But what do you mean by revocation? All of you? What do you mean by revocation? Okay. Normal meaning of revocation? Correct. Very good. Very good. Very good. So cancellation cancelled. अरे हाँ है ना? Cancellation cancelled. Do you understand that now? Cancellation cancelled. Okay, all of you? Can I go ahead, everybody? That is part of section 30. So obviously the most important point is why or what we can see here, or the reason because of which the registration can be cancelled or suspended, let us say. So is it a small thing or a big thing that your registration bachcho has been temporarily suspended or cancelled? Obviously bachcho, big matter. Hai na? What big matter can be there? Can I call it as, let us say, as fraud? Some kind of fraud by the taxpayer, or non-compliance. Yes, fraud, let us say, or non-compliance by the taxpayer. What else? Okay, everybody? And there is something which the assessee has not followed. Correct. Illegal business, or bachcho, I think in the last lecture I told you, taking fake registration only for the purpose of passing on the credit and actually not doing actual business. Okay? Not doing any kind of business. Okay, till here? So taken bachcho GSTN only for the sake of passing on the credit. So you have GSTN but business not done. Okay? Chalo, let's go ahead, everybody. So cancellation or suspension of registration. The registration granted under GST can be cancelled for some specific reasons only. Now check. The cancellation can either be initiated by the department on their own motion, suo moto, or the registered person can apply for cancellation. When can he apply for cancellation? For cancellation for registration? When in a way, normally his turnover is coming down the limits. Okay? His turnover is coming below the threshold limits also. In that case, he can also apply for cancellation. Or normal case, winding up of the business. He is closing down the business itself. Again, in that case, he can cancel his registration. Winding up of the business. Obviously, I'm talking of only normal examples. Chalo. Example, voluntary cancellation by registered person. Where the registered person requires, so no more requires the registration. When, for example, in case of death of a registered person, the legal heirs can apply for cancellation if they are not continuing with the business. Then, department is cancelling the registration, bachcho. When the registrant or registered person is not doing business from the registered place, or if he issues tax invoice without actually making any supply of goods and or services. Fake credit, bachcho, passing on the fake credit. Already clear? Fine? Chalo. Circumstance where registration is liable to be cancelled. Okay? Cancelled. Circumstances when the registration can be cancelled either suo motu by the officer or on application of the registered person or their legal heirs. So compulsory it has to be cancelled. Either then department will do it on their own, okay, start the process of cancellation, or the registered person or the legal heirs can apply for cancellation. Okay? Chalo, check. Cancelled by the registered person on its own or by the department. Check. Change in the constitution of the business. Now, there are a couple of reasons. First one, business discontinued. You are winding up the business. Then business is transferred fully for any reason, including death of the proprietor. Can you give me any other example, bachcho? When business is transferred fully, other than death of the proprietor? Because in death, the business will be transferred to the legal heirs. Amalgamation is there given in the sheet later on. Amalgamation demerger. Any other reason? Transferred fully without death. So बच्चों you are selling what? The business itself. I can call it as बच्चों slump sale also. हाँ है ना? Okay? Everybody? So transferred fully for any reason, but also including death of the proprietor. Amalgamation, demerger or otherwise disposed of. Okay? Given up. In that case, cancellation registration. Change in the constitution of the business, partners, owners, etc. Okay? And taxable person, that means he was registered. All of these were registered only now. Is no longer liable to be registered under section 22 or 24, or who intends to opt out of the voluntary registration. Okay? Voluntary bachcho who claims, who can register voluntarily? If he is not liable under 22 or 24, he can take voluntarily, na bachcho? Yes, Celia? To take the credit benefit of ITC, है ना? But now he was liable, he had taken voluntarily and he's just opting out. And his opting out means bachcho, his turnover bachcho is still not beyond 20 or 40. Clear all of you? 10, 20 or 40. Fine. He had taken also bachcho voluntarily, but still not yet crossed the limits. So he can give up, no problem about it. Yes, Celia? Others who are liable under 22 or 24 are no more liable under 22 or 24. Okay? Again, those who are liable because of turnover limit, their turnover have come down. Yes, Celia? Those are taken because of 24, now they are no more doing those transactions of 24. Clear? Chalo. So, situation when the officer can cancel the registration on his own, suo moto. In the following cases, registration can be cancelled by proper officer from such date, including any retrospective date, as he thinks fit. Bachcho, officer can cancel backdated also. Very important. Officer can cancel backdated also. Okay, everybody? Check. A registered person has contravened, means not followed the prescribed provisions. A real person has not filed returns for a continuous 6 months. You have to see lots of things in detail. Voluntary registered person has not started business within 6 months. And lastly, registration was obtained by means of fraud or misstatement or suppression of facts. You had given wrong information at the time of registration of the registration for GST, application for registration. So again, in these cases, the officer can cancel suo moto the registration of the taxpayer, that also from backdated. Okay, check here. From such date he deems fit. He can say this is your last month, from 1st of the next month your registration is cancelled. Okay, or he can say last 2-3 months only you have done lots of fraud and all, so everything cancelled from the last 2-3 months itself. That is also possible. Clear to all of you? है ना? चलो. Now, first one. Prescribed contraventions. Okay, look at this point now. We are doing this point now. Prescribed contraventions which make a registered person liable to cancellation of registration. What are the reasons? Rule 21. The registered person does not conduct any business bachcho from the declared place of business. He is just given a name, fake, okay, sham. You can say any kind of fake bachcho name or a location from where he's doing business, but he's actually not doing any business from that location. Yes, Celia? In that case, what will you say? Liable for cancellation. Then, does not conduct any business from the declared place. Issues invoice or bill without actually supplying of goods or services. Very important again. Again, I gave you an example last time only, hai na? That if you gave a fake invoice, that means you have given the invoice, finally, but not actually supplied any goods and or services. Yes, still all of you? That means you are helping the other person in income tax as well as GST. Clear all of you? This is clear cut बच्चों case of fake invoices, है ना? Fake means what? Invoice is generated, but nothing supplied against that goods. Nothing is supplied against that goods and or services. Okay? Violates the provisions of section 171, that is provision related to anti-profiteering measure. Okay? Anti-profit. This is anti-profit. PROFIT. Anti-profiteering measure. Okay? Now what is anti-profiteering? I'll tell you. Okay? This has happened with McDonald's, Lakme and all of that. Lakme. Okay, understand. Let us say there is a McDonald's burger. Okay? Of rupees 150. Yes, still here all of you? Now this is MRP which you pay. हाँ है ना? So how much is बच्चों before taxes? For that I'll have to give you the tax rate. Let us say बच्चों the tax rate was 18%. हाँ या ना? How do you find? I hope you know. What you can do is बच्चों take on calculator 150 divided by 118%. Okay? Give me this figure. One fifty is MRP बच्चों. 150 divided by 118%. How much? How much? 120 or 123 what? 127. Okay. Hmm. $127 or 123? ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है. Rounding up is okay. Fine. That means बच्चों tell me how much MACD or McDonald's earned बच्चों income. McDonald's earned as such 127. हाँ या ना? If tomorrow, understand now, very important, this happens. The department realized or understood or they want to say that this food item is highly cost or highly taxed rate, and the department reduces the tax rate, okay, at the rate of 5%. Are you getting my point? So I'm writing a before, after. Chalega? And if MACD keeps the same rate, MACD is like, why should I reduce my selling price? Na? Hai na? Are you getting my point? Now give me bachcho. 150 divided by 105%. 150 divided by 105%. Okay, I'm taking as 143. Chalega. And 7. Chalega, everybody? Okay till here? What happened over here? The government has reduced taxes, and if you have not proportionately reduced the selling price before tax, there is an automatic income increase for you. This is but your profit, but illegal profit in a way. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? Or as a percentage, if I'll say here, you directly are getting a benefit of 12%, whereas the benefit should have been given to whom? To the taxpayer, customer, correct? Then here, if at all they don't reduce the price, okay, I'll just write down a required change. My price before tax is 127, before the government did any changes. 127 bachcho, give me 127 into 5%, 12.7 half, 6.3. Okay everybody, I'm taking it as 6 right now. Is it okay? Is it high enough? So what should my price should have been? Let us say bachcho rupees 133. Isn't it? That was the bachcho intention of the department or the government. Clear to all of you? That whatever was in the market was being sold at 150 or was taxed at the rate of 18%, the rate should come down to, the selling rate should come down to 133. Yes, clear all of you? But if you don't reduce the selling price, and if you are, but still there is a reduction in tax rate, and if you are not changing the selling price, that means you're increasing your own selling value, selling amount. MACD, Lakme, and then couple of companies were fined under this in 2019 something, okay, after COVID, not COVID, so not before, whatever, they were fined. I think before COVID only they were fined, and these cases keeps on coming up once or twice in a year for big companies. Then MACD said, no, our profit margins were already low, we were running into losses, so we have not made any profit by reduction of tax and all of that, okay. So whatever time pass, but again, if this happens, bacho, okay, then resolution will be cancelled. Is it okay, everybody? Are hi Anna, clear till all of you? Good. Did you understand? Question is not asked, but I thought you just should know what is anti-profiteering measure. So reduction in tax rate, the benefit should be passed to the customer. If not passed, then the customer is making, not customer, the seller is making an illegal profit over here. Okay? क्या नहीं समझा इंद्रजीत?
Recording stopped.
कहाँ तक समझा? खुशबू, नितिन, मानसी? Okay, 133 कैसे आया? मानसी, खुशबू समझा कि नहीं समझा? खुशबू, अक्षय? टाइप इन एवरीवन. DM नहीं आ रहा मुझको, मैसेज नहीं आ रहा मुझको. ओके नितिन, अदर्स, मानसी, अक्षय, खुशबू किधर गई? ओके 133 कहाँ से आया? 133 किधर था पहले चेक करो. हाँ, सी व्हाट वाज माय प्राइस? 127 था ना पहले. सी जो कुछ भी चेंज नहीं हुआ, नो चेंज हैपेंड. बिफोर दैट माय प्राइस वाज व्हाट? नेट ऑफ टैक्सेस 127, and government was telling me to charge 18%, है ना? So 127 plus 18%, I mean is 23 rupees on 127. My selling price was 150, correct? Then government did change that 18% to 5%, हाँ है ना? So 127 only. My rate was what? Before taxes my rate was what originally? 127 ना? So 127 plus 5%. Understood now? Indrajit.
Recording in progress.
Because you should always keep the base price same only normally. है कि नहीं? Clear? And government can put some more restriction. The next 3 months, next 6 months, you cannot change the price, this and that. They can put. Okay? Violates the provisions of Rule 10A. Rule 10A बच्चों, we'll go back to that in some time. Then avails ITC in violation of section 16. Okay, for that obviously we'll be looking into section 16. Okay, and furnishes the details of outward supplies in GSTR 1 under section 37 for one or more tax periods which is in excess of outward supplies declared by him in his valid return under section 39 for the said tax period. This again we will bachcho see in the chapter of returns. That time we will see. And lastly, violates again the provisions of rule 86B. Again bachcho 86B, we will take care of that in the chapter of input tax credit. Okay everybody? Section 16 as well as rule 86B, we will see that in income tax input tax credit chapter. Alright? Rule 10A. Where we had seen bachcho Rule 10A? Tell me. Search. Rule 10 we have here. Issuance of certificate. So that banking. Just a minute.
Recording stopped.
Which page can you see that? Anybody? नो नहीं मिल रहा. ओके हाँ ऊपर ही था. या दैट्स व्हाट. ओके बैंकिंग.
Recording in progress.
You did not furnish that bank details. Rule 10A was what, बच्चों? That furnishing of bank details after registration within how many 45 days, na? Okay. If that is also missing. Okay. 7.45. Okay, this is written there also for your understanding. So, is not conducting business from the declared place, not supplying goods or services against that invoices, or violates बच्चों anti-profiteering, or rule 10 is not followed, or claims wrong ITC as per section 16, or shows the returns are mismatching, whatever out the GST returns he is filing, that they are mismatching, or violates बच्चों rule 86B. Okay. That as it is, some things we are going to do in that returns chapter. Okay. Then this is the first part. Or second, check 3 consecutive tax periods in case of person who opted for composition scheme. Composition बच्चों was in a way a short scheme, है ना? That you will be given some exemptions. And obviously again some restriction may be put extra, then you can go for composition scheme. So for continuous 3 tax periods. Okay, 3 tax periods. Now tax period means what? Tax periods means बच्चों what? It can be monthly or quarterly. Okay, that means let us say you are filing returns, or your liabilities बच्चों monthly or either quarterly. So the month, or depending on the type of person you are, and a type of taxpayer. So the 1 month can be one tax period, or quarterly 3 months बच्चों can be a 1 tax period. All right, all of you? Okay? So for 3 consecutive tax periods. So for composition बच्चों levy or composition scheme, the taxpayer will have to file बच्चों quarterly. So 3 tax periods means what? 3 quarters. Basically he missed filing of returns for 3 quarters. Okay, fine till here. Done all of you? Then suspension of registration. Ready? Once a registered person has applied for cancellation, or PO बच्चों seeks to cancel, the officer may temporarily currently suspend his registration during the pendency of the proceedings, because you cannot directly cancel, because you have to give an opportunity of being heard. So there cannot be just one-sided बच्चों cancellation. No absolute power is given to the officer. So temporarily बच्चों इसमें he may suspend the registration. Why? Then he will not be able to pass on credit as well as take any credit. Okay, during pendency of the proceedings related to cancellation of registration. In this way, now important, a taxpayer is freed, at least as of now, normally also. Now there is a normal case. The taxpayer wishes to cancel his registration. Hi Anna. So as of today, till the date it is cancelled, he will have to do bachcho no compliances. See, he applied for cancellation. It will take some time. So between that period of applying for cancellation and actual cancellation, whatever compliances can be there, he will not have to do that. Okay, clear? So taxpayer is freed from the regular compliances like filing of GST returns, okay, during the pendency. Understood or no? He's applying for cancellation. Clear till here? So he will not be liable to fill GST returns or do any GST compliances after he has filed for cancellation. Okay? Because temporarily right now the officer will just suspend it. He will look at the documentation etc. and then but will cancel from some effective date, either retrospective or prospective. Okay? The period and manner of suspension of registration is as follows. When the registered person has applied for cancellation, है ना, person applied, ठीक है, it shall be deemed to be suspended from, deemed, okay, the date of submission of application or the date from which the cancellation is sought, whichever is later. The taxpayer is saying that this is my last month of business. From next month I am not doing. So he applied today and is seeking for cancellation from the next month. Yes, tell everybody. So whichever is later, okay, shall be deemed to be suspended. Or he's saying that my business is over. I am no more doing business at all. I am doing no more business at all. Hai na? So he's applying. He said from today itself cancel it. So it can be any date. Okay, whichever is later. So it shall be deemed to be suspended from so and so date, pending the completion of proceedings for cancellation. Before cancellation, what bachcho? Suspension. Suspension effective from which date? Date of application or date of cancellation you are asking for, whichever is later. Are you getting the point or no, everybody? Where cancellation of registration has been initiated by the department on its own motion. So the officer has reasons to believe, okay, that registration of a person is liable to be cancelled. He may suspend the registration from such person with effect from a date to be determined by him, pending the completion of the proceedings for cancellation of registration. Important. He can cancel, not cancel. He is applying for cancellation, bachcho. Who? The officer. But before cancellation, what bachcho? Suspension. The suspension will be effective from that date which he decides. Who? The officer. It can be backdated, it can be current date, or it can be bachcho future dated also. That power is given to the officer. Are ha ya na? All of you okay till here? Let's go ahead, everybody. Where a comparison of returns, pay attention, furnished by a registered person under section 39. We have not yet gone to the chapter of registration, hai na? So not GST returns. So we'll see that, okay? The details of outward supplies. First, when I use a simple word outward supplies, what do you mean, bachcho? Sale or purchase? What do you think? Supply, sale, है ना? The details of sale furnished in form GST are 1 or the details of inward supplies derived based on details filed by suppliers in GST are 1 or such other analysis, any other analysis, as may be carried out on the recommendation of the council, show that there are significant differences or anomalies means what again? Defects, indicating contravention of provisions of the CGST Act or rules made thereunder, leading to cancellation of registration of the said person. And then currently bachcho, his registration will be suspended. Basically, his regular returns are not matching with the annual returns. What did I say, bachcho? His regular monthly or quarterly returns are not matching with the annual return. Okay, till here all of you? There is a significant anomaly or significant, you can say defect or deviation. already here in the analysis. Basically, let us say, I'm just telling you, okay? Understand, bacho, some simple logic. I'll teach you from TDS point of view also, okay? Now let us say there is, bacho, let us say 194J transaction, you know? A company paid to a consultant. Is it okay, everybody? Let us say let us take 1 crore figure, 1 crore. Is it okay, everybody? Now, because of 194J, in a way, bacho, tell me, logically, the department understood or not understood at least some kind of profit of the consultant. Profit, or let me use the word income. Hi, Anna. If the consultant tomorrow files, that is gross receipts or income itself are bacho just 40 lakhs. I'm talking of gross, not net. If he shows in his whatever income expenditure account, whatever, that gross income is 40 lakhs. Is this a gross violation or no? I'm not talking of net profit. Net profit can be 40 lakhs out of income of 1 crore. I'm saying the gross income which he has shown itself is 40 lakhs. This clear cut understood this is illogical because department already has knowledge of that TDS was done on the figure of 1 crore. Are you getting my point or no? Are hi ya na? Everybody bolo. So understand in the chain of your credit under GST chain of credit, let us say A sales to B and B sold to C. Agreed or no? Okay. So understand between A and B what happens? A is seller, B is buyer. But between B and C, what happens? B is seller, C is the buyer. Are hi Anna? So what is not matching, bacho? In a way, it may say that A's outward supply return. Kuch samjha ki nahi? See, all three of them, bacho, let us say 3 is also, this is also business, huh? This C is also, let us say business. All three of them, bacho, correct. All three of them are filing GST returns. So what should logically happen? Common sense. A's sale should match with B's purchase. B's sale should match with C's purchase. Simple or no? They are mismatching. I'm just right now telling you in very short form. They are mismatching. A showed lots of sale to B and B is accordingly not showing that much of income. Agreed? Or C showed lots of inward supplies, let us say from B, but B is not showing his outward supplies accordingly. Clear till here? So here, in a way, doubt in the minds of the department. So they can send a notice, but temporarily suspend it, and then they may say this is liable for cancellation. You are not showing the details accurately or correctly. Okay, clear all of you? हाँ ना? Okay? Chalo. Such person shall be intimated in prescribed form by sending a communication to his email ID provided at the time of registration or as amended from time to time. Basically, he will be informed that your registration is liable for cancellation because of mismatch, etc. The reason will be given to him. In this intimation for suspension and notice for cancellation, the said differences and anomalies are highlighted, star mark, and the said person is asked to explain, show cause to why we should not cancel your registration. Okay? So he should also reply within 30 days as to why his registration shall not be cancelled. Hi Anna. Clear to all of you? Basically, department found some loophole here. This year means the problem, and then directly it is sent to him as a communication that yes, we are cancelling your registration. So currently or temporarily we are just suspending it. Hi Anna bachcho. So we'll explain or given the details also that why we came to this conclusion. Okay, explain his differences. Now he may file revised returns, or he may actually update the returns. He will pay the balance or difference of tax with interest, etc. Then again he can reinstate. In cases where the cancellation is initiated by the department on its own and the registration of a person has been suspended, such person shall not be granted any refund under section 54. Okay, 54 deals with like a refund part, but right now not part of our syllabus. But basically, we will stop any kind of benefit to be given to him. Clear till here? We think or we know that money is liable from such person, and then we are giving him refund. This will be illogical. हाँ या ना? He has done such a gross violation that we will be cancelling his registration, बच्चों, है कि नहीं? And then if some refund was, he had filed for some refund earlier, we will stop that. Understood? Then a registered person, pay attention now, whose registration has been suspended. That GST IN suspension means what? You have seen that in movies also? That officer or that police officer is also told, you are temporarily suspended. What happens, bacho, then? What is asked from him then immediately? What do you think? You have seen movies, I am asking from movies knowledge. What does his officer tell him, senior officer? Very good, yeah. Give away your badge or tag and pistol, rifle, no, revolver, sorry. Okay, correct. Isn't it, everybody? So can you use it even if you're legally still officer? No. That license or that power is right now is removed. Similarly here, if your GSTIN is temporarily suspended, so check. He shall not make any taxable supply during the period of such suspension. Okay till here? And shall not be required to furnish any return under section 39. See, if GSTIN is suspended, he can't do anything. He can't claim refund, or he will not get refund. That is, forget that. He can't file any returns also. He cannot make any kind of taxable supply also. Okay? Look at this example here. Just read that line and tell me, can he do any other type of supply or not at all? Can he do any other type of supply or he cannot do supply at all? Very good. He can do but some other type of supply. Yes, that will be allowed. We are not closing down his business. No, same business also he can make a supply. But what he cannot do? He can't charge tax. He cannot, bacho, check, shall not make any taxable supply. That means, okay, the registered person shall not issue a tax invoice. Means what, bacho? Very importantly, he can't, very good, he can't carry forward or cannot give credit to the next persons. Yes, still here all of you? Okay, everybody? So shall not issue a tax invoice. Alright? He can sell. Nobody is stopping from that. He can still get money. But he can't charge. Under GST, he is suspended. Correct. He will be understood as unregistered dealer temporarily. Very good. Understood, everybody? He can still buy but not claim credit. He can still sell, not charge tax. Okay? And accordingly not charge tax on supplies made by him he can still make supply during the period of suspension. Did you understand? So important. He can't do any taxable supply. That is normal supply, obviously allowed. We cannot tell anybody not to do business, no? Okay, tell all of you? Normal supply means without GST, without tax. Okay? Without tax. Clear till all of you? Can I go ahead? हो गया यहाँ तक? चलो. The suspension of registration shall be deemed to be revoked. Understand now, important. Suspension, revoked means what? आज क्या? पेपर भेजा? किसके लिए? कितने बुक्स हैं तुम्हारे? 1, 2, 3. ओके. Correct. That means he is reinstated, बच्चों. Or cancelled. Anything. Suspension cancelled. Now suspension cancelled means now it can directly lead into GST number cancelled, or he comes back as a normal taxpayer. So check. Suspension of registration shall be deemed to be revoked upon completion of cancellation proceedings. Means what? See, it was under temporary suspension, na? Because you were doing the proceedings, the process, the legal part of hearing. There was a hearing between the taxpayer and the officer. Now they came to some conclusion or some judgment. Now there can be only two. It is a binomial case. There can be only two cases. What? Either cancel or no cancel. Are हाँ या ना? Clearly clear. But once you arrived at some decision, बच्चों, then what will you say? Suspension has been revoked. Clear to all of you? बस पेंटिंग किया क्या? ये तुमने किया? ये तुमको करना है. Color the parrot flying high above the tree. Okay. करना तुमको ये सब. अच्छा, कौन से कलर का पैरेट? पैरेट कौन से कलर का है? पैरेट है ना, पैरेट लिखा है यहाँ पे. हाँ, ये पैरेट है. हाँ, कौन से कलर? हाँ, तुम कौन सा? अच्छा, ब्राउन है. ओके ओके ओके. तो such revocation shall be effective from the date on which the suspension had come into effect. Important. Means what? Backdated or prospective? Backdated. Understood or no, all of you? Tell me. Kushbu, Nitin, Mansi, Akshay. The date on which you are suspended, from the same date, but it will be reinstated. Reinstated means understood? डीएम किस किस के आ रहे हैं? नितिन. Can I go ahead, bachcho, everybody? Procedure for cancel. Sorry. The suspension of registration may be revoked by proper officer any time during the pendency of proceedings for cancellation if he deems it. That means, bachcho, without coming to conclusion also he can say that suspension has been revoked. Yes, clear all of you? Where any order having the effect of revocation of suspension has been passed. Revocation of suspension, okay? Revocation of suspension. The provisions of, now pay attention, the provisions of 31(3)(a), that is revised tax invoices, and 40, first return, in respect of supplies made during the period of suspension shall come into effect. Means what? In the temporary suspension period, did you give any tax invoice? No. Did you file any GST returns? No. Are you reinstated now? Reinstated means understood? Reinstated means what? Are you again as a normal taxpayer? Yes. Now, है ना? But effective from the date of suspension. So between that time period for which you were suspended, are you getting my point? The time for which you were suspended, for that time, but now again you can issue revised tax invoices as well as file the GST returns, and obviously then there will be no penalty on you. Okay? Because it was not because of your mistake that you were not giving tax invoices or not filing returns. Are हाँ या ना? Understood or no? Clear? One example? Okay, let us check. We have or no? If not, we will make an example. No problem. लेट अस से पीओ पास ऑर्डर है ना, प्रॉपर ऑफिसर बच्चों पास सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर ऑन 15th December 23, okay, but बच्चों with effect from let us say first, let us say December 23, okay. Now revocation of suspension passed on 1st Feb, let us say 24, है ना, sorry, then invoices बच्चों between, he passed order on 15th ना, so 15th December 23 ना, because before that you are already given the invoices, okay, between 15/12/23 and what, first let us say Feb 24 will be revised. Finally all of you will be revised. That is the point number 1. Second, GST return for December 23 can now be filed after 1/2/24. Why? Because after 1/2/24 बच्चों again your GST IN is getting unfreezed or unsuspended ना. Clear till all of you? बोलो. All okay? Okay. Now, because you don't know about GST return, that's why. Now pay attention. Do you remember TDS? TDS. है ना? In TDS, बच्चों, whatever TDS we used to do, TDS, we should deposit बच्चों by 7th of the next month. Yes or no? Similarly here, we have to do a GST return chapter where we will see that GST return for the month needs to be submitted in the next month. Okay, normally, in normal cases. Again, you can do quarterly also. Okay, just like TDS returns, but we file quarterly. So GST returns can be filed quarterly for small taxpayers. Okay, and some people who take composition scheme. Others have to file bachcho monthly GST returns. Okay, tell all of you. So here what happened? The GST returns bachcho for the month of December. Now whatever purchases and sales, especially bachcho sales, he has done in the month of December, है ना, from 1st December. He could not show it or file it in the month of January. Why? Because his GST return, because his GST was suspended. Okay, 11th of the next month, 11th January, he should have filed. Again, there is GST3B that he has to file, that he could not file because his ration was what, bachcho? Suspended. Now, once it is unfreezed in a way from 1st February, so he can file for the month of December also now. Hi, na? January as it is, he is going to file na? For the January, he still has time, but in February he can file, no problem for January. But in February, but you can also file now return of December, correct? He'll have to compulsorily first file December and then January. That we will see in the chapter of GST returns. You can't skip a month or any time period. You have to file for all the tax periods, one after another. That will all of you. Okay, everybody. Next one. Procedure for cancellation of registration. Voluntary cancellation. Ready? By a registered person. He is winding up the business. है ना? Possible. Or is बच्चों giving up his voluntary registration. So registered person seeking बच्चों cancellation. A registered person seeking for cancellation shall electronically submit the application for cancellation within 30 days of occurrence of event warranting cancellation. That means the reason, whatever has happened, है ना? He is winding up, etc. Within 30 days of occurrence of the event warranting the cancellation. Because of what reason you are cancelling. So whenever that reason, that cause is happening, after that within 30 days he should apply. Pay attention, very important. He is required to furnish in the application the details of inputs held in stock or inputs contained in semi-finished or finished goods held in stock and of capital goods held in stock on the date from which cancellation of registration is sought. Now बच्चों, we are cancelling the registration, है कि नहीं? So in a way, let us say, I am going to dispose of the stock. Agree till here? I may have some stock, na? I may have some stock, either raw material or WIP or finished goods or even capital goods, whatever. So I am winding up the business, but am I going to sell them? No, I am going to dispose them. But did I take any benefit out of them? Out of raw material, WIP or FG? Did I take any benefit out of them? Bolo. I took the benefit, bachcho. I took the benefit. What benefit? When I purchased them. Correct. We claim bachcho ITC or no? See, the law doesn't say na, it has to be one-to-one matching. Okay, first of all, just understand, the law doesn't say that it has to be one-to-one matching. That goods which you had procured, that item goes in some finished goods, and that finished goods is sold, then you will get the credit. It is not like that. It is month-to-month purchases. Okay, just for your understanding, I am telling you, month-to-month purchases or tax period to tax period. I purchased in 1 month, I sold something, anything in some month. Okay, in the same month. Let us say my raw material to finished goods may take some time, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, depending on the nature of my work. Now you only use common sense. If at all, bachcho, I am selling motor car. The item which I purchased, let us say on the last day of the month, I purchased screws or whatever is used in motor car. On the last day of the month, do you expect the motor car will be ready on the last day of the month using the same component? Is it like that? It is not like that, no, bachcho. In costing, you might have done all of this. I don't know. But you have some n number of items or sales which you keep in mind. Correct, Ilya? And then accordingly you are buying those so many components. So common sense is what? Number of items I purchased, whatever I purchased in the month and the same month sales. Hai na bachcho? Correct. So purchases in the month and sales in the month, they are sort of against each other. Clear till here? So let's come in the last month of this tax person. Last month, he purchased some items. He has reduced. Let us say he is saying that there is no future in the business. He wants to wind up the business. So he reduce his purchases. And there is 1 month. He is like, this is the last month of business. He applied for winding up and all of that. But that last month, he might have done some very negligible purchases, or he may have stock, old stock, which is not yet converted as such or not yet sold. Are you getting my point? But someday or the other, whenever some or the other sale was still happening, you reduce the ITC or not of these items. You reduce the ITC from the sales. Clear? And also one thing I told you, bachcho, there is no sale, but there are purchases. So, okay, then your ITC is getting carried forward. Okay, your purchase is more. Finally, here I am talking of tax. Let us say ITC, and sale is only of, let us say, bachcho 40. What will happen? Your ITC bachcho will be carried forward. Hi Anna, I am talking of only tax amount. Clear till here? And ultimately, whatever stock you have now, whatever stock now you have, बच्चों, okay, that stock, that you will, बच्चों, dispose of. हाँ या ना? Dispose. Now let us say, let me use the word, बच्चों, dispose. You're winding up the business or no? So dispose. Let us say, but you got 0 rupees out of the disposal. You have just given it to somebody for free, or scrap dealer, whatever, and you said, I don't want any money also out of this. Okay? You claim the ITC, no? Correct? Claiming of ITC means what? You reduced somewhere your output. Claiming of ITC means what? Either you are going to claim it as a refund, let us say, or you have reduced from some of the other output. Clear? But now can I ask you a question? If you have a stock on which ITC was claimed and you're disposing it off completely and not getting any money out of it, what comes to your mind? Disposal without consideration. Is it a supply or not a supply? It is a supply, na bachcho? We had covered that. Disposal of assets, bachcho, on which ITC was claimed. हाँ या ना? Remember or no? If you give an item free of cost, okay, let us say, gift, or if you convert the business asset into a personal asset, it is not a, okay, you claimed ITC for the purpose of business, you were going to use that item, but that item, but you are using for personal purposes. Are you getting my point? So ITC, but are you using it for business also? Then no. So there has to be some use of that asset, na bachcho. It should be either applied in the business or sold further. Hai na? So we had seen much in the chapter of supply. You can go back and check. When you are disposing any asset on which ITC was claimed, it will be treated as bachcho supply. Clear till here? Or let me bachcho again put it in the same way or logically. If you are taken benefit of ITC and not paying tax, now why not paying tax? Because you are not selling those items. Okay? So you'll have to reverse that ITC, whatever you had claimed on those items. Okay, all of you? And हाँ या ना? To check, pay attention. In what case we are doing? The taxpayer is bachcho applying for cancellation. हाँ या ना? The taxpayer is bachcho applying for cancellation. So when he is applying for cancellation, that time he should give the details of the stock lying with him. Raw material, WIP, FG. Okay? Liability thereon. Understood or no? Liability thereon. Details of the payment, if any, made against such liability and may furnish relevant documents thereof. That see, I have paid my liability also on these final items. So always, मतलब disposal के time कुछ कंसेशन मिला तो ITC नहीं मिलेगा. You'll have to reverse the ITC on those items. Now reverse means what? You'll have to pay it back. Now pay it back means what again? Are you selling those items? Let us see, are you selling those items? No. Did you have ITC of these items? Yes. Pay back to the department. Whatever you had claimed as ITC or whatever you have ITC. Okay? Okay, everybody? Because you did not sell those items. Are you doing any value addition? Nahi na. You are not doing any kind of value addition because you are not selling it, bachcho. Okay? Clear till here? The calculation and all of that, again we will do that in the chapter of ITC. There is again chapter of input tax credit, bachcho. How to do the calculation and all. Whenever the stock is lying idle. I am talking about this part. Calculation of liability on stock. This obviously, bachcho, will do it in the chapter of input tax credit. Clear till here, all of you? Okay. Then So when he applies voluntarily, बच्चों, when he applies for cancellation, who the taxpayer, he should give details of his stock, the liability on the stocks, and whatever payment he has done or not done on that amount. That details बच्चों also he'll have to furnish. Alright, earlier, where a person who has submitted an application for cancellation is no longer liable to be registered. 22 not applicable, 24 also not applicable. The officer shall issue the order for cancellation within 30 days from the date of submission. Okay? Here, bachcho, see, whenever you take registration, they have to be very careful, all of you. Okay? That is he going to pass on fake credit or not and all, so that they have to keep in mind. And secondly, whenever he cancels, even that has to be checked, whether he has taken any fake ITC or not. He's going to cancel, then again he's available, not available, that again, that is an issue. Okay, everybody? Whether any ITC was applicable on the stock and he has paid that or no. So at that time, again, the department is very, very careful. Alright, all of you? Even if you do a small Google research of GST fake ITC scams, you'll get lots of news on that. That also we are going to see when we'll go in the chapter of ITC. But look at one of the important sections already we have covered in 29, one of the important reasons. Issuing invoices without actually issuing goods or services is a chain. It is again a scam. It is a big market of giving fake credits. Okay? And the department is already, you can say, big headache for them. They're controlling these fake credits. That's why they are more careful at the time of registration. Okay? Look at this. है ना? How much? Tax related 60,000 crores worth of goods and service tax evasion using fake invoices in the past 3 years. Big amount. है कि नहीं? Yes, there were cases where the officials itself were involved. GST commissioners were involved. I think in Delhi or somewhere, Gurgaon, that news was there. It was a big chain or a racket. That commissioner used to neglect purposely some GST registrations or GST persons, registered persons who he knew were giving fake credits. And again, a big chain. Till commissioner, the money was going. Somebody then did that whistleblowing thing. No? Whistleblowing, you understand? Whistleblower, the one who breaks this news, and directly sent to email only with some attachment or something with names or accusation. Some accusations. He sent to news channel also and departments also. And then that officer was immediately transferred to northeast or some Sikkim or some kind of hilly areas purposely. You know? Check here. Can I get fake GST bill? Wow. सही है. Understood, all of you? Okay, everybody, can we go ahead, everybody? Obviously, people don't do small scam. So they want to catch big fish. Simple, है ना? Now, if you take बच्चों, let us say, if you have income, but ठीक है, if you claim ATC in income tax, है ना? This has happened. I've literally seen this, but that was 10 years back. A friend of mine, he filed income tax return on the last day. He claimed house property loss 2 lakhs. He claimed ATC 1.5 lakhs. Literally nothing investment he had done. He got the refund also. He was like, देख लेंगे, notice आया तो. That time it was okay. I mean, that kind of attitude he might have had and all. But he's not in India now. He went abroad. You see, crores of tax returns are filed. How many tax people we have how many tax officers we have to check these cases. That's why, what do we say? analytics, software, those things are data analysis is required heavily. That anything kind of anomaly can be found or no in this, because human person, I mean, they can't keep on checking everything, no. So from systems only, or you can say softwares only, they can pick up some cases randomly also at times to check whether everything is in order or not. Got it, everybody? So these cases also happen. Or let us say, at times this also happens, that genuinely a person has invested 70,000 in ATC deductions, or he has a claim of 70,000. He puts बच्चों 10,000 extra. Who is going to understand? है कि नहीं? Unless he is actually called for assessment. And small taxpayers, your income is बच्चों up to 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. There are also salary returns. The department even doesn't even care. They have lots of big corporations and companies and big people to check. Okay, I'm not advising you to do all of these things. I'm just telling you, it is a challenge. है ना? Do we have any question to do from the Q&A? This covered. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, done. ठीक है, we have to do question Q&A only then. I mean, we have to do some more concepts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then, next one. Suo motu cancellation by the department. Suo motu means obviously on its own. Where the proper officer cancels the registration. Okay? Suo motu. Cancels, not suspend, cancel. But before cancel, he'll have to suspend or no? Yes. He shall not cancel the same without giving a show cause notice, and again without giving a reasonable opportunity being heard to the registered person. The reply to such SCN has to be given by 7 days by the taxpayer. If the reply to SCN is satisfactory, then the officer can drop the proceedings of cancellation. However, where the person, instead of replying to the show cause notice served, pay attention, instead of replying to the show cause notice served for failure to furnish returns for a continuous period of 6 months. Check now. For continuous 6 months you have not filed returns. 3 months in case of compulsion scheme supplier. Okay. Furnishes all the pending returns and makes full payment of tax along with interest, etc. and late fee. The officer shall drop proceedings and pass an order. That means what was the reason? One of the reasons of cancelling the registration? Check here. Until here, a registered person has not filed returns for continuous 6 months. Then directly what officer can send a notice for cancellation. Finally here. Now if the taxpayer immediately files all the returns, pays all the taxes, interest, late fees also, then officer will have to drop the proceedings of cancellation. Until here. Where registration of a person is liable to be cancelled, okay, that means he doesn't rectify or he doesn't reply properly, etc. Proper officer shall issue the order of cancellation within 30 days from the date of reply to the show cause notice. That means even after replying, I'm not talking of this. Okay. If the show cause notice reply is not satisfactory, or if that person does not file returns also, then the officer shall cancel the registration within 30 days of reply to the show cause notice, or whatever is the date of expiry of show cause notice. From that, within 30 days, officer shall cancel the registration. SCN was what? Show cause notice. What do we mean by show cause notice? Basically, it is a notice from the department saying that show cause as to why we should not cancel a registration. Show cause as to why we should not take action against you. Karne dakwa notice. That means in local language to local language it is a little bit different. Basically, show cause why we should not bajao your band. है ना? What is the defense basically? Understood? And effective date of cancellation. The cancellation registration shall be effective from the date determined by the officer and mentioned in the cancellation order. Important. He will instruct the taxable person to pay arrears of any tax, interest or penalty, including the amount liable to be paid under 29(5). This is covered over here. Finally, here. So basically, you are applying a cancellation. Then the officer can suspend it. Okay, but before cancelling, again he will give you obviously an opportunity or chance to pay the arrears or whatever amount is coming as liability. Alright, all of you? Fine. This part I'll have to take properly or in separately only in a fresh lecture. Okay. How much amount is to be paid at the time of cancellation? है ना बच्चों? That I'll cover in the next lecture. Alright, everybody? Okay.
Recording stopped.
YouTube वालों, bye bye. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, comment on the video, do everything, whatever you can. Bye bye YouTube वालों.